living in a duplex or a triplex, one of the first books I ever read was The Wealthy Barber, because the author is actually from Sarnia, Ontario, David Chilton. So that book is very famous around where I live. So I'm from Sarnia, Ontario. And I grew up in a duplex too. So I was exposed to this stuff at a young age. And if people are kind of turning their nose up at it and going, I don't want to live in a duplex, I don't want to live with roommates, I got to tell you, if you make those sacrifices now, you will be able to do much more of what you want to do in the future. So I was literally living in the rental with roommates and things like that right up until my wedding day or my wedding week. Because my wife was like, there's no way I'm moving in the sixplex. So I totally understood that. But up until the age of whatever that was, like 33, was living in that rental property, right? So, and I still hold that property today. It's a great property. I want to hand it down to my kids. But as far as leveling up into bigger multifamily, it's not as big of a jump as you think it might be. Now, I know there's people out there that teach you how to buy big apartment buildings. And I don't recommend getting into 50, 90 plus unit buildings right off the hop. I think everybody should have a really strong foundation and baseline when it comes to real estate investing. So there's nothing wrong with getting involved with smaller properties at first. My biggest property is a 7 unit right now, but I'm going to be building a 29 unit building. And we've got a lot of units in the portfolio. So you can do well by getting yourself, 20, 30, 40, 50 doors over time. And it doesn't take a lot of buildings for you to be able to retire and do really well. Like Chloe was saying, like I don't have a pension. I'm not sure if you're going to have a pension, Richard, but these are the things that we will have that will be like our pension once we're ready to kind of just pull back and not work as hard or work as much, right? I'm sure we're always going to work hard. But so it's really just a mindset shift that like these things really aren't that much bigger. They're typically even better. They're purpose built, right? When you start to get into 12 or more units, they're going to be purpose built. They're going to be rectangular. They're going to be cut evenly, not like some of my properties are kind of cut up all over the place because they put these together in a century home or something like that, right? And the lenders are going to look at you differently, especially if you have a resume that you've done this for a few years. Then they're going to be looking at the property first, then you and your resume second, and then your income and all that other stuff later. So they really want to see what the property is doing. Can it stand on its own feet? Are the income and expenses, do they all make sense? What does it appraise at? How are the rents? What are the cap rates? All those different things. So I think the most important thing, if anybody could take one thing from our talk tonight, is if you make money on the buy, if you know how to buy things on sale, or if you see an opportunity that other people don't see, like you can play the game of Tetris in that house for highest and best use that other people don't see,